Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Oldish, and welcome to our viewers on our sister channel, Real Life Renos. My name is Karen Brown, and I'm an aging in place and accessibility strategist. Longtime readers of The Oldish, because it's been around for a lot of years, will know that on an annual basis we publish a gift guide. Why do we do that? Because people who are older and also people who have disabilities become very difficult to buy for. Sometimes they are people who have everything and there's really nothing they want. So you give them things and they sit in your drawer. I know that when my grandfather passed away, we looked in his drawers and there were probably 6 or 8 shirts still in their packages with tags on. We bought them for him thinking he would use them, but he never did. He stuck to the shirts that he wore day in and day out and really loved, so he never felt the need to open a new package. That was probably wasted money and satisfied our need to give him something more than it satisfied his need for things that he really found useful. We put this gift guide together to avoid that for you. Now, if you have people who have downsized, and are living in smaller spaces, they've probably gone through a process of getting rid of stuff. I know I've been going through that and I still haven't gotten rid of everything. But when I'm asked to put together a Christmas wish list, it's very sparse. It frustrates my children, but it's very sparse. I just don't want for anything. If I need something through the year, I typically just go and buy it. So finding Christmas gifts that are useful to me is a pretty difficult thing. If you are buying for people who live in long-term or nursing care, the challenge becomes that much greater because space is that much more limited, and you really want to buy them things that they're going to use and find useful over a period of time. That's one of our criteria. Another criteria is budget. There are a number of items on our gift list that are no cost at all, some that are low cost, and we also have included items that are great for families who want to get together and combine their time, talents, and resources on one gift. So you'll see a lot of that as it goes through. We've added a few new things. We've taken away some things. We have some items that have been suggested by readers over the years as well. So let's just get started here. There is our gift guide. If you go to theoldish.com, you will see the gift guide highlighted at the top of our screen for the time being. It is there for you to have a look at, and we have 85 suggestions this year. It's pretty cool, huh? Now, if you scroll down, if you scroll down a bit on the screen, you will see our newsletter. Do consider subscribing to that. We put together a newsletter once a month, and it contains a couple of articles from the Oldish, usually a podcast or a video from our Reno Studios platform, and also we highlight a product from Brown Healthcare, which is a sister company of ours. So you can get a newsletter once a month. We try not to pester you, but once a month is when you'll get it. And they typically go out about the second week of every month. Now you can scroll down. You see that the very first item that we always include on our newsletters is time. Time is something that we hear over and over again from people, particularly as they age. They want to spend time with the people that they love. I know that is really meaningful to me. Time. And I never seem to have enough of it, but time. The second item on our list is a brand new thing. It's called Jelly Drops. Now, if you've been to our Brown Healthcare website, it's brownhealthcare.com, you'll see that Jelly Drops has been added. For people who live in long-term and nursing care, one of the things that is really detrimental to their overall health is the lack of proper hydration. So a very clever young fellow in the UK was noticing this problem with his grandmother and invented Jelly Drops. It has taken a few years to get to this point. They are now available in Canada, and we are very proud to be able to represent them as an affiliate. We don't actually have the product. This is an affiliate link. So all of the product is shipped from Canada. It is a wonderful product. I have one here for you. They come in flats of 21. Now, this little package contains, I think, 9 jelly drops. And this amounts to a little over 300 milliliters of water. And because, oops, let me show it up to you here. They look like candies. I'll open it. There are 3 flavors. There we go. And you can see when they're open, if you put these on a plate, which is what this young fellow learned to do with his grandmother and her fellow residents in her long-term care facility, they look like candy. They are not overly sweet. They are very hydrating. They're a little bit slippery, but they're terrific. Down the hatch. Really good. Strongly suggest that if you have anybody in your life that is having issues with hydration, that you consider jelly drops. Really wonderful. Okay, moving on down. See, digital picture frames, favorite music, gift certificates. I mean, I'm not going to highlight every single one of these. Spike mats. Now, that is another new product that we have been highlighting over at Brown Healthcare. If you have issues sitting for long periods of time, or if your loved one sleeps on their side and gets sore hips, the spike mat alleviates that. You can also put it in front of the kitchen sink or the kitchen counter where food is prepared, and it helps with blood circulation. They are really wonderful things to have, and they come in 4 different formats. We've tested them. I'm sitting on one right now. I sleep on one. Really terrific. So do consider that. I've given you the direct link. Again, we don't make any money on this. It's simply a product that we think is terrific, and I've given you the link to where you can purchase it. So this is something you might want to take a look at. Foot care, very important. If you've got an aging senior in your life or somebody who has a disability who cannot care for their feet properly, ever so important to care for those feet. Get the toenails cut, look after those feet. Weights and skipping ropes and stretch bands, yes, good for exercise, and particularly good if you have somebody who likes to stay indoors in the winter months. Show them where the exercise classes are on YouTube, and then give them the equipment to help them do it better. Crossword puzzles, cash. Now, cash is something that I do recall vividly being suggested by one of our readers, and that allows independent purchasing of things that they need for themselves, that they might be a little bit shy or embarrassed to ask for, or maybe it's something they don't need right now. Maybe it's something they need later. Respite time. If you have somebody in your life who is a caregiver, respite time. So important. Volunteer to go and sit with the loved one who perhaps has dementia or some other kind of progressive condition, so that the main caregiver can get out and just go for a walk or go and get their hair done or get a few groceries. You have no idea the meaning of that time to them until you actually do it. Adaptive clothing. We have changed our adaptive clothing recommendation from last year to a new company that we found this year called Is Adaptive. We did a podcast with who is Izzy Camilleri, world-renowned fashion designer who has a store in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and has switched her talents to designing for accessibility. Fantastic, fantastic clothing. So if you've got somebody who sits a lot or is in a wheelchair or has issues getting dressed because of range of motion issues, that is definitely a place that you need to visit. Now, some of those pieces you might want to go together with family members to purchase. Clothing can get a little expensive, but you know, the costs are what the costs are. I don't actually think that the jeans that they sell are any more expensive than the jeans that I buy for myself. So might just be something to take a look at. Gift boxes, Squatty Potty, a selection of greeting cards. You know, to go out and buy a selection of birthday, thank you, anniversary, in memoriam cards, that kind of thing for people, don't sign them, don't put anything on them. You could pair it with a calendar of family birthdays and make sure you buy cards that are suitable for every birthday and just put a stamp on the card and give them this selection of cards. You have to be aware of their sense of humor because some people like the funny cards. I do. Not everybody likes the funny cards, okay? Just be aware of that. Audiobooks, podcast library. I've highlighted some of my favorite podcasts, and there are new ones coming out all the time. It's a terrific medium. So, you will find a lot of your grandparents' generation will be very accustomed to listening to the radio. And a podcast library for them, pure gold. If they have eye issues, macular degeneration, again, listening to something as opposed to having to view something, they'll love that. Window bird feeders, there's just so much. Light therapy lamps. I use my light therapy lamp throughout the winter months consistently. It sits on my desk. It's not there yet because we're not quite there, but we will get there. I use it a lot. It really does make me feel better. One slip socks, or non-slip, sorry, not one slip. Looking at the one below it, 1 cup coffee or tea brewer, and combining it with non-slip socks. They don't go together. Now we get down to an independent living area, and this is where my accessibility training comes into play. If you have people who are living independently, you want to make sure that they can continue to do so safely, with dignity, and saving their energy. That is a really important thing. Now, drawer pulls and doorknobs, you probably want to have a good look at them. If they're living in an older home, they might still have round doorknobs. They might have round drawer pulls. Not the easiest thing for arthritic fingers. As a for instance, a chore calendar for families to support them. Choosing to age in place. The grass still has to get cut. The snow has to be shoveled. The leaves have to be cleaned out of the eaves troughs. All of these things need to be happening, and they may not have the ability or the capability to do it. But with the price of homes these days, selling a home and buying something else just isn't practical for a lot of people. Also, for their emotional and psychological state of mind, having the ability to stay in their own community where things are familiar, the neighbors are familiar, they know how to get to the grocery store, invaluable. So to support them in maintaining that lifestyle, there are a lot of things you can do. Putting light strips on stair steps and under cabinets, a really good thing. Automatic night lights, bidet toilet seats. I did a review of my bidet toilet seat some months ago. You'll find it in the oldish videos. Love a bidet toilet seat. Plus, it saves on the expense of toilet tissue. Just saying, it's a really good thing. Look at their can opener. Is their can opener something that really suits the ability they have with their hands? There are lots of them on the market that are far better than some of the older ones. Frozen single-serving meals and raised garden beds. These are all things that can really give a boost to somebody who wants to age in place. Ring doorbells. Love my Ring doorbells. Yes, I do. Grab bars installed in appropriate places. And while you're at it, make sure that the railings are tightly screwed in so that if they should have need to grab a railing because they're slipping, the railing doesn't pull off the wall. Ever so important. Things for their hobbies, garden kneelers, that's a good thing. Raised garden beds if you can do it, but a garden kneeler if you can't. If renovations are on the table, there are a number of items there that families can go together and purchase for their loved one who wants to remain aging in place. Okay, folks, there is a brief rundown of our 2023 gift guide. This is a gift guide that you will want to keep handy not only for this holiday season, Christmas for those who celebrate, Hanukkah for those who celebrate in those traditions, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, a gift just because. These are all things that you want to be able to bookmark that gift guide and keep it handy. It will always remain on our site. All of our previous ones are there, but do have a look at the current one always. So, wishing you all a blessed holiday season, and thank you for your attention to this particular video. And do check out that gift guide. Do sign up for our newsletter. And we will see you again on the next edition of The Oldish, along with our sister channel, Real Life Renos. Take care, everyone. Bye.